What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy LookAround with LMD Trading coming at you again today with another trade review. Today was a red day in the market and it was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. And I have no one to blame but myself for that. Actually took a few trades that I had no business getting into, trying to make the market do what I wanted it to do. And if you trade in the market, then you know that the market is going to do what the market is going to do because it's the market. So ended up taking 6 trades today. The last couple of trades were green, which was good, but it was the trades in the middle that were just horrible. And we were trying to play to the downside when the market was clearly in an uptrend this morning and going higher. We tried to make the market do something that we wanted it to do. And the market slapped me smooth across my face. So we'll go ahead and pull up the watch list just to see what we were watching today. Again, not a full watch list, but it was a watch list that if we just listened to the market, we would have made money today. If we listened to the market, we would have made money today. So if you look at SE killed it all day, pretty much from the morning to the rest of the day. This was a trade that we tried to go to the low side. We bought puts. AMD, where's AMD at? If you look at AMD, pre-market, it kind of pulled back, but once the market opened, we see that it was clearly, actually, I won't say that we could see clearly, but right up in here, it had a little junk, and this is where we tried to get puts at, and it smacked us smooth across the face. And then it just went higher the rest of the day. And then Facebook was the other one that we traded. And if you look, and actually I'm going to just open up the front half of it. If you look at Facebook was good trades. Facebook was going down for the most part throughout the day. Stayed below VWAP until afternoon. But AMD and SE, we totally got slapped in the face on. So let's go ahead, get Trader View pulled up. Take a look at the trade, see what each individual one did, and then we'll pull charts up on it. So we finished in the day down 27. Facebook, decent trade. We stayed in this one for a while, just let it work. Good trade. AMD smacked us. Huge loss right there. Should have cut that one knowing that it wasn't working. Came right back, tried it again, got hit in the head. SE hit in the head. Came back a little later in the day. Took one more on AMD, and then we took this one in the afternoon just to try to salvage. So we actually were down 3R. We were down our daily limit, but we ended up taking these 2 trades here and got us to, well, we were just down 1R. But we'll go ahead and get these charts pulled up. We can look and see what we were seeing and get on up out of here. Be ready to do it again tomorrow. But this was a frustrating day. I will say this was a frustrating day. Even in the chat group that I sit in, I made the comment that I'm short-sighted mentally on all three of those that I traded: Facebook, AMD, and SE. Only one that was truly going on the short side was Facebook, and that's the one that we made money on. So first trade that we took was Facebook, and got started a little late today. I wasn't at my desk right when the market opened, so not sure what the market had did for that first 30 minutes. I came in a little late and then just started kind of watching it, trying to look for a pattern. So first trade that I got in was at 10:04. So I got in on that candle right there. And this here, I will say, is probably about one of my better trades on just waiting. So I wasn't at my desk to see this first part of it, of when it came, tested, and broke back down. But it came and tested VWAP again, and I got in right as it broke this candle. So that would have been what they call a sell setup over at Professional Trading Strategies. So tested the VWAP. VWAP rejected it, so it sent it down. And that one there, we stayed in that trade for an hour and a half. Got out of that at 11:38. Let's see where we were at getting out of that. Got out right there. Let's see on the 2-minute chart. So if you can see, we rode this one down pretty good. And this was one where I was just kind of monitoring it and moving the stop up as the trade progressed, and ended up just stopping out when it finally pulled back up to this level here. And that one we made $74 on that trade. So that there was a good trade out the gate. First trade of the day. Even though we weren't unrealized on our profit, it still was just a good trade, and it was working. Next trade that we got in was on AMD. Let's look at AMD. So if we look at AMD's chart, we can see right here at 950, it's bouncing off of support, headed back up to test this area, and then to test the VWAP. So we got in this one at 1017. 1017. Where are you at, 1017? So I don't even know what area I was trying to get in at. So this one here, oh wow. And these were calls too. This is just brutal. This is brutal. We were going in the right direction of the market. We just did not get in on a good area, chasing. And I won't even say chasing on this one. Looking at the chart, this was probably trying to play this one to break to the higher side. So again, as I say, when I drop those arrows, they're not really representative of where I got in the trade at. But this one here, it made this nice move. Should have waited on a pullback to get in, because that's what stopped us out. We in at the top of the trade. It has to pull back before it runs. And this one, we were only in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And we got stopped out at 10:20 and 33 seconds. It has to pull back. It has to. And that's why I tried to stay in it. And that's why I took a huge stop. I took an $88 stop on 2 contracts. Stop was going to be up here, because again, we're getting in to break this area of resistance. So the stop was going to be up in here, and it just flushed back down, doing what it was supposed to do, coming back down to the VWAP. You see that candle came right to VWAP. The next one came down to support, and then it took off. But my short-sighted no pun intended, my short-sighted mind had me locked in. And yeah, this one crushed me right there. That was 88 bucks trying to get that pop off of that area. So that was our second trade. Again, we're still in Facebook and it's just grinding. It's just grinding lower. This is where my short side came in. Went right back to AMD, and this time I went puts. Because now my thought process is, okay, it's pulling back. The market is about to pull back because the market had been trending up all morning from the time I had been watching it. So I get in as it breaks VWAP. Again, charts are always marked before I start trading so that I know where my areas are at. So this was clearly trading in this channel with the VWAP just being in between. It's not really acting as support or resistance. It's just in between this channel, and this stock is just moving in the channel. This would have been a good trade over here. So this entry would have been good over here, getting in up here as it moves higher after it broke. But we get in on puts because it's breaking the VWAP, but the VWAP is not really in play. It's not really in play because we're trading in this channel. We get in right there, 1021, and we stop out at 1045. So we stop out in this candle right here as it's coming back up, testing VWAP and showing that it's going to run. So on my screen that I'm looking at when I'm taking my trades, it has the charts like this with my with charts, candlesticks, and volume. And then it also has time and sales in level 2. I don't really pay as much attention to level 2 probably as I should, but I do watch time and sales to see what the orders are coming in at. So on this one, I kind of saw that it was going to most likely be continuing up, and we see that it did. And this one here, again, I stayed in it a little longer than I should have. I should have been getting out as it was breaking VWAP. And then you see I got a price action line here. And you see it's pretty much right there where the VWAP is at. But when this was breaking, I should have been getting out. And this one here took a $40 loss on 2 contracts. So AMD whipped our butts today. It just pretty much just smacked us all around. And next trade we get in was SE. And this was clearly one of those days where I just felt the title of me saying that I'm a trader meant that I just had to take trades. And we were just taking trades to be taking trades. And it was just showing in the results. So this one here we got in at 1034. Just firing them off one after another as we getting in. This one here, puts. After this stock has showed a nice move, we're looking at it on the 5-minute. Nice move up, pull back. Nice move up, pull back. That's a perfect setup to be going long. And in my mind, I'm biased already in my mind, not looking at the chart, but in my mind, this thing needs to go low. And we buy puts. Absolutely no sense at all. 2 minutes later, we got slapped across our head. 1036. 1036 would have been this candle right here. And again, I have to keep saying it. I'm sure I probably got in this one at the bottom here, got out at the top of there. So that was a $24 loss on that right there. $24 loss. Came down, tested the VWAP, about to continue on up to the high side. Let's get out of it, cut our losses, because this is about to run. Again, if I'm going to go to the low side, which I shouldn't be because we're in an uptrend, we got higher highs, higher lows, higher lows. Hadn't set the higher high yet, which right here it didn't. It just came back up, tested it, and then it took off. This thing literally took off all day. 3 o'clock, you finally setting the high. $16 move from open to here. This was one that could have made good money on trading the chart. And I did change the layout. I added a daily here instead of the 15 because I rarely trade off of the 15. I just use it to kind of smooth the candles out as the day goes along. But I went on and added the daily so that we can see SE is in a downtrend. It's in a downtrend, but it broke the trend right there. So that was your downtrend there. It broke it. So now we don't know if it's going to start setting higher highs and higher lows, or if this is just a little momentary hiccup and it's going to continue down. But we do see today was an excellent uptrend day. Came all the way up to, guess what? The 50-day moving average. Didn't quite touch it, but as I said in another video, it's an area. So, and then we had this price action line on the chart from previous price action. Guess where it's at? Right at the 50. So this one came, tested VWAP, held at VWAP, and then it just off to the races. And we got slapped on that one. Another trade that we shouldn't have been in. Stepped away from the desk, came back, saw AMD still running, and we took another trade on it, took another stab. And this one here, we got in at 1136. 1136. So we're getting in on this candle right here. Come on. Drop the candle. There you go. Only downside with getting in right there was going to run into this area here. We already know going to run into that area. So once it breaks it, it's good. But got in that one at 1136. We got out at 1141 right here for a very minuscule, I'll say that word again, very minuscule $9. What in the Sam Heezy? So in the trade, 5 minutes, didn't even really let the trade play out. Basically kind of trading with scared money. This thing made a nice $1 move. Had we just left our stop alone and let the trade do what it do. Left stop alone, stop would have been down here. We could have ran it up to here. We could have ran it up to here. We could have ran it up to there. Again, I don't like to sit through pullbacks. I'd rather get out as close to the top as I can. And if it's a nice, clean, sequential pullback, which this wasn't, This here was too short of a pullback. Didn't give the stock time to rest from this move. And that's why it kind of failed and rolled over. It needed to build up some more steam before it can continue plowing on. But definitely trading scared, just trying to make money, not trading our plan on that one. So that trade made a measly $9. Next trade and final trade again, and I'm starting to like the afternoon. I'm starting to like the afternoon because I can kind of read the charts. They kind of form in clear patterns. If it's going to fade and start going back down, it's going to do that afternoon, and then I can kind of see it. But we traded Facebook again. And this time, again, it's after 12. Look at that, right at 12 o'clock too. So initially we played it down. Heavy volume on this little candle. Look at the volume on that candle. That was nice volume on that little candle. Nice bottoming tail. Probably had quite a few buyers in there. And you pushing sellers out. And then this thing just turned and higher low. I'm sorry. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Guess what we in right as it's coming to the VWAP. We have flipped the script from a downtrend to now an uptrend right at the VWAP. And we got in this trade at 13:57, so almost 2 o'clock. 13:57, where are we at? Right there. Getting in well after the move. Right here would have been a good area to get in, right there. That would have been good as it's breaking this pivot, excuse me, and that pivot. So it's breaking all of those pivots and it's about to start moving. But we missed the move, didn't get in right where we needed to. And we got out almost an hour later. We just let this thing work, which is what we should have let AMD do. We didn't let AMD work like it should have, but we let this one work. And you can somewhat see why we got out where we got out. Made almost 2R, so almost $50. But we let this one work. We set through some pullbacks, that was fine. But we let this one work because it didn't ever show any signs that it was going to come back down until it got in this area right here and got a little top heavy and pushed down. But had we stayed in it a little bit longer, this thing still had room left in it to go a little bit higher. So we probably could have squeezed out our full 2R. But good trade overall. Afternoon trade. Again, like I said, if you notice the last couple of days when I've sat back down to kind of try to find some swing ideas, I've taken an afternoon trade and it's paid well. And this was one that paid decent. Again, we got in late here. So that was 218.69, 217. So definitely missed maybe a good $25 in that little bit of move right there that we missed out on. But that was our final trade of the day. Facebook went on to set a new high at the end of the day. So after all of this in the morning, it faded and made a nice move going back up. And that's why I don't know why I had that bias in my mind this morning to say the market is going down. I should have just been trading what the market was doing. And that's not what I did today. Wasn't happy at all. Took some trades in my other account with that same mindset and got hit across the head a little bit more than I did in this account. That account, my risk level is a little higher because the account size is a little higher. And that's not really a reason to have a higher risk level, but just with my experience, I feel I could have a little higher risk level in that account. Small account, I have to keep the risk within reason for that size account. But we'll go ahead and think about the mistakes we made today and go ahead and implement what we've learned to not do them tomorrow. Because like I said, I'm sitting here looking at this Facebook chart and good entry, definitely a good entry coming off of the VWAP coming down. Only thing with this one is you do have this area right here you're going to run into. Excellent area to enter right there because you're breaking some key levels to come down, and we see it made a nice move down. One thing that I do notice with Facebook, I think this may have been my first time really trading Facebook, doesn't really make big moves. So as you can see, in this last trade, we only made 42 bucks, and that was 3 contracts. Paid $1.64, so $164 per contract. Contracts didn't cost much, but you don't make as much money either. So that was the one thing I did learn about Facebook. And I am trying to build like a basket of stocks that I watch. I have my option scanner that I go through in the mornings, but I'm also trying to build a basket. So like how I'm always going to have SPY on the list. I'm always have the QQQs on the list. I'm trying to build a basket of other stocks that have good ATRs, so good average trading ranges, that I could trade every day that makes good moves. Facebook could be one. I just have to kind of watch it. But go ahead and wrap this one up. I appreciate y'all coming over and spending 30 minutes with me to review these trades today. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please go ahead, hit that subscribe. If you are not if you're not subscribed, please do hit that like button. Go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Again, if you didn't like it, by all means, hit the thumbs down. But if you do, just leave me a comment letting me know what I can do. Got some comments on the way I was trading. Definitely put those down there. Let's talk about it. Let me know what trades you took and let me know how they worked out for you. If you see something that you may think that I might be able to implement in my trading plan, by all means, I'm open to it. I'm a new trader. If it's something that you're seeing in my trading plan that you might want to implement, by all means. But of course, back test it. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down, and we will do it again tomorrow. Peace.